job. Good job, everybody.
So not only is he in it, he's the centerpiece. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So this is the story of my husband's senior prom, a story I tell often. As a senior in high school, he had made a pledge to a girl to take her to his senior prom. The only trouble with that was that he had broken up with said girl. He broke up with said girl because said girl happened to fool around with said international employees, multiple, at the place where they worked, Hershey Park. So it wasn't like a happy breakup. And in fact, when he was younger, he was very romantic. And so he was crushed. He was like just heartbroken, torn to pieces, wrote sad poetry, like really. So I was like, yes, finally, this is my opportunity to like move right in there. Because I'd been waiting in the shadows, stalking, anticipating that this girl would screw up because I would like plan to date him for so long, and like something would always happen that would keep us from each other. So I'm like, this is it. And instead, in the interim, he ends up fooling around with a friend of mine, which, you know, that happens. You know, we're all free people. But she would like tell me things, and I'd be there like, mm-hmm. And she'd be like, I don't understand why he doesn't want to be more than friends. And it's like, well, he said he was just getting over the girlfriend with you. That's your role. But, you know, whatever, you know, that's the thing. And so then it comes down to his senior prom, and he still has to take this ex-girlfriend, and he has kind of a side piece. Meanwhile, I had come out of the shadows and was finally making my smooth moves with him, and we had just, like, previously had our first kiss before this senior prom. So that's the scenario in which the chaos begins. On the day of, he gets chronic migraines, and so he has like one of those terrible migraines where it's hard to see, you get sweaty, you feel nauseous, sounds are too much, everything is too much, and he's going to a prom with like the world's worst central Pennsylvania DJ who's like mashing up country music with R&B, and it's bad, and he's taking his ex-girlfriend, and someone else is taking the side piece, and I went with another friend, so all of these girls are all there. And it gets down to a certain dance, and they play a song, and he was gonna dance with the ex-girlfriend that he brought, and it ends up being their song. You know, we get the whole Eric Clapton coming on, and darling, you look wonderful tonight, and she's losing it. She is just like pure tears, mascara down the face, just like clutching him for dear life, and he can't even see. His migraine is so bad, and he's just staring into nothing with this crying woman on his shoulder, and he looked like he was ready for the end. But the end wasn't here yet. So at the end of the night, we were all going to go to an after party together, which is problematic enough. But the ex-girlfriend wasn't invited. She was just taken out of the obligation. So he was going to drop her off first. Well, the side piece also needed a ride to said party, and I was going there. So in this car, there is the gentleman with the migraine. There is the ex-girlfriend who cheated on him, who's now a wet mess. There's the side piece, and there's me. And so he drops off the ex-girlfriend, and he wants to be the gentleman, like it hasn't been a good night. And he walks her to the door, and she tries to do the lean in for the kiss at the door, and he shoots her down. And it's not a good moment for anyone, but the side piece sees this as her opportunity because she's the fun one. And she went up to the front seat and laid on the horn right at about the time she was getting rebuffed from the kiss, and yells out the window, "I call shotgun!" And this girl just like retreats into her house, just like bawling on her mother. And so he's already in a really, really bad position. He comes back to the car to find that that girl is now in the front seat. And she's like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you, oh my God, I had to pick up my friend. So we get her equally excitable and loud friend. And so the car is now filled with two very loud women excitably telling each other all about prom that night, with him driving and me silent as the grave in the back seat. This is one of those few times where I'm like, I know my role. I'm just gonna wait this out. So we get to this party, and it was just a terrible after prom party, and he just was still in so much pain. He went around and tried to find, like, you know, drugs, as in the right kind of drugs for migraines, which took a few tries, but then he finally got the headache medicine that he needed. And he just looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm like, we out. This is it. We can leave. And so we left the hyperactive girls there, and we went back to his house. So he left with one girl to go to prom. He brought me home. And we're there in the aftermath of all of this chaos. And we're laying on the floor, and we're watching old black and white horror movies together. And it was very sweet. And I would like to say that the chaos, you know, ends with, you know, just a beautiful transition into a nice relationship. But his mom comes home, and she had been at a party that evening. And so she gets home, and as is her way, because she is a nurse, she has no body image problems, and she just starts stripping as she's going through. And she assumes that I'm the girlfriend that she's known for months. So she's going through, and she's walking, and as she's passing over our bodies that are on the floor, she's like, that's not her. And Matt's like, no, it's not. And she's like, okay, well, hi, whoever you are. And ascends the stairs in nothing but, I believe, pantyhose in her underwear. And I'm just there like, and who would have thought this is the beginning of the rest of my life?